What am I cooking tonight? My thought process was I wanted dal, and then I thought but I want some protein with it. So tonight I am making a coconut dal with some grilled chicken. I don't usually cook a curry with chicken breast. So what I've done with the chicken breast was I put it between two pieces of paper and I made it the same thickness all the way along. So I'm just watching the cat. Be careful of the, I don't want the cat going near the candles. So I've flattened slightly, not the same way. I'll just show you. It's not the same thickness that I would do schnitzel. You can see it's still quite thick. It's about, there you go, look, you can see it's still at least 1 centimetre thick, but I've made it one thickness because it'll make it easier to cook. And I will give you the recipe for what it's marinated in, but there's lemon juice in there, there's lots of spices, there's some curry leaves. I'm going to now start the dal. I'm going to preheat the grill. This will just take 4 or 5 minutes on each side to cook. And I'm going to cook the dal after I've let the cat out the window. Off we go with the dal. I'm going to put in, that's probably a dessert spoonful of ghee. Actually, no, call it a tablespoonful. I'm using ghee because it's authentic and I happen to have this really good quality ghee at home. I'm going to add the onions and cook those, saute them on a low light for 5 to 7 minutes. I will add a pinch of salt. While the onions are cooking, I'm making the most of having my ghee out, and I have lined a small tray with some foil, and I'm just wiping some ghee over the tray, and I will put my chicken in here. I'll show you. So here you can clearly see how I've made the chicken breasts all one thickness. I have preheated my grill to sort of a medium high, and I'm going to pop them under for 4 to 5 minutes on each side. I want my onions to be lovely and soft, but at this stage, so they've been cooking for about 5 minutes, I am adding in the ginger and the I've got some curry leaves for some flavour. Anyone that watches my videos know that I use a truffle slice to add my garlic. I don't finely chop it. I don't put it through a squeezer. I just do this because it just melts into the dish. I've never used it to slice a truffle. I've never had a truffle to slice. Anybody that wants to send me a truffle for Christmas, you're more than welcome. So those are going to go in. It's going to remain on a low light until the onions are super soft, so another 5 minutes. My onions are nice and soft. I'm just going to turn the heat up a tiny bit. I'm putting in probably, well, I'll write the measurements. I'm putting in some mustard seeds, which I just want those to cook for a couple of seconds until they start popping. Then I'm going to add some Kashmiri chili. You can be quite generous with Kashmiri chili because it's not as hot as normal chili. Actually, I'm not going to put in garam masala. I am going to put in some salt, maybe a little bit more. I've got here some cardamoms. I'm just going to bash those. Obviously it'll be a challenge to the two of us eating it to make sure we get the cardamoms out. I don't care if I bite into a cardamom, I'm really not fussed. I'm also going to put in a few cloves. Listen people, it's coming up to Christmas. I have decided that the way I'm going to scent my house this Christmas is I'm going to stick a load of cloves in some oranges and just leave them in rooms. Just saying. Right, they're all in. I've got red lentils. I soaked these for half an hour. Actually, it seems like a lot. It was 250 grams, but this feels like a lot. I'm going to do that much. So I'm going to give that all a good stir. All those lovely spices and smells. Then I have, oh, actually, actually, I forgot one thing. I know you love watching my phones where I just cook on the hoof. Turmeric. We have to have turmeric. I'm going to give that a stir through. I have a can of coconut milk. And I'm going to refill that tin 3/4 of the way with freshly boiled water from a kettle. Oh, I thought I had more water in that kettle. Somebody's been making tea without telling me. So it's about 3/4 of a tin of water. Boom. I'll just lower the heat. And this will take about 20 minutes to cook, and I will be stirring it every so often. It looks beautiful. So at this point, I've got to this point, I'm now going to put my chickens under the grill. A note about tonight's crockery: a recent visit to the Royal Oak in Watcott, which has a Michelin star. I admired their beautiful plates. These are Limoges, Sarah Lind. Other people buy handbags. I like to buy crockery. They are so beautiful. And obviously I have warmed them before I put food in. Please always warm your plates. My garnishes that will go on the top: the dhal, the chicken, and the warmed plates. This might be quite spicy. If your curry is too spicy, I've got some yogurt. So when I taste it, if I think it's too spicy, I'll just put a dollop of yogurt on the side. But I'm now going to plate up this dish. So a couple of spoonfuls of the beautiful steaming hot dhal. There we go. Then some chicken, which will just sit across the top like that. I'm going to scatter it with tomatoes, spring onion, and a little bit of coriander. And that is, I don't know, chicken with dhal. Oh, it smells good.